My name is Allison and I'd like to tell you about the time how I almost walked away from Christ and what brought me back. I was raised in an active Christian house. We attended church, Bible school, Sunday school, volunteering, the whole bit. And I was baptized when I was in the 4th grade. I have always known that I was a terrible sinner and that I needed Christ in my life. My husband, Brian, on the other hand, was not raised in an active Christian home. He wasn't familiar with the Bible, with Christ's sacrifice for us, none of that. But when we moved to Minear and I told him that I wanted to find a church here, he agreed to come. And so we started attending Minear Christian and we found a great home here. Brian started attending a Bible study. We both worked with the youth group. It was really good. He ended up being baptized here, and I was thrilled with that. Our life was comfortable. It was really good. In Jeremiah 29:11, God says, I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. And I felt that while our life wasn't perfect by any means, we had our share of problems, it was still really good. And I felt like we had finally gotten to that part of our lives. And then Brian got sick. And then he got sicker. And then it became apparent one Saturday in an ER visit that he was really, really ill. And I remember praying so hard that night and the next day that his illness would be treatable and curable. Even if it was chronic, something that we could live with, I prayed hard that it would not be terminal. And on April 16, 2012, my 36-year-old husband was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. I have tried very hard to come up with words to describe that moment, and there are none. There are none to describe the heartache and the difficulty. But I still trusted that God would take care of us. And I knew that Brian was going to have surgery, and that God would get us through that, and we would start chemo, and God can do anything. So He's going to be with us, and He's going to take care of us. And about a week after Brian got out of the hospital, we were back in the hospital because he had developed antibiotic-resistant infection in the surgical wound. And that was really the beginning of the worst 2 years of my life. And that first summer was really bad. When he was first diagnosed, the oncologist had told us that she could treat him, but she could not cure him. And she recommended people in his condition celebrate every 6 months they get. And that first summer, I didn't know if he would make it to the first 6 months. And I became angry with God. Just the why us and how can you do this to us? And I felt alone and abandoned. And I wondered a lot if he even still loved us. And I can remember being so angry with him. I remember standing in my living room one day, just standing there and screaming at him and shaking my fist at him. And it got to the point that I couldn't talk to God anymore. I couldn't pray. I couldn't do it. I would come to church and I would sit there in the pew, and when it came time to pray, I could just sit there and I wouldn't feel anything but angry. Just absolute rage. And things went on like that through most of the summer.